Good morning. My name is Temesgen. What's your name?
Good morning, I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you, Jessica. I am a Western Washington University student and with the Human Services program, and I'm just here today to practice my interviewing skills, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And so, thank you again for coming in. What my agency does is we help high school students like yourself navigate through the treacherous terrain of college and everything that entails. And so I hear that you wanted to maybe talk about potential schools that you are interested in, and maybe some scholarships and just maybe anything else that involves that.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And so first I would like to just point out where the restrooms are. They're just right behind, right outside my office. And I also just want to briefly mention that within my agency, there are other fellow Western Washington University students also practicing their interviewing skills with clients like yourself. And so here's my business card. If you need to get a hold of me for whatever reason, please feel free to contact me directly. You can call me to set up another follow-up appointment. And if for whatever reason you're unable to get a hold of myself, you are more than welcome to schedule a meeting with my fellow coworkers. And before we proceed, I did want to go through a few things with you. So one being HIPAA. I abide by the HIPAA law, which just means that everything that you and I discuss within this room is confidential. I won't be sharing that with anyone else. But with that being said, the only other person who would ever see anything that you and I discuss or write down would be my supervisor. And so my supervisor would just go through everything to make sure that what I'm offering you is correct and accurate and appropriate for you.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. And then another thing I would like to discuss is that I am indeed a mandated reporter. And so what that means is anything that you and I discuss, if it has like an air of maybe you potentially harming yourself or others, I will need to report that. If if the courts for whatever reason request to see anything that you and I discuss, I will need to then provide that to the courts. And so I just want to be clear with you and open and honest with you that is what I, as a mandated reporter, I have to abide by those rules and laws.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. All right, so yeah, what brings you in? I want to hear from you. What brings you in?
So, of course, like you said, I'm a high school senior, but my situation is a little bit way different than others. I work 2 jobs, and my parents work 2 jobs as well, both of them, my mom and my dad. We're very financially bound right now, a little bit, and I have little siblings, so I come home from working both jobs, and I take care of them when my parents are still out working. So it's been very stressful trying to manage high school and looking at scholarships for college, and I really just want to go to college. I know I'm good and set academically as far as my GPA, but finding these resources have just been difficult.
Okay. And so have you, what schools have you already had a chance to look at, if any?
So I really have just been looking at like the HBCUs because that's what I really want to go to.
Okay. That's wonderful. Those are very good options. Have you looked at any schools within the state at all?
Not really. I know there's some good ones, but I just haven't really taken the time
Okay.
to really look at them.
Okay, for sure. So within the state, we do have 4-year institutions. For example, we have Western Washington University, the school that I am attending currently. We have Washington State University, the University of Washington, and some various others. We do have an array of 2-year institutions, which are community colleges. And here in Bellingham, we have Whatcom Community College. And I'm actually, that might be the only one, but I know if you wanted to leave Bellingham, you have many options within the state. So that's great to hear. And then as well as in HBCUs, those are out of state, so that's one thing you'll need to consider. That does mean that you would need to pay out of state tuition,
Okay.
which leads me to the next thing you had mentioned, maybe a potential financial burden.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, we're just really financially bound. So like me, my dad, and my mom working all together, it's still kind of tight. Money's still tight paying the bills and stuff. So that's why they're really pressing finding scholarships and all that, because they know that once I leave, that's one less person that's going to be there to help fund the family.
Okay, definitely. And I think you brought up a key word, and that's scholarships. Have you had a chance to look at any scholarships maybe that your school had posted?
I saw a few on the board. I think one like really interests me, and I signed up for that one, but didn't really get it. But you know, my mom's been telling me just sign up for any ones that I am eligible to apply to, because that's the best bet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like you said, there are a ton of scholarships, and I'm not worried. We definitely can find one that fits the one that's just right for you. There's scholarships for sports, school activities, academically based scholarships. So that's definitely something that we can explore. And so, gosh, all right, wonderful. And then along with seeking out universities and scholarships do come the actual application process. Have you gotten a chance to look at or heard maybe any of your fellow students talk about that process?
I know a lot of them are stressing out about doing their applications for the different colleges that they're going to. I've looked at applications, but I really haven't gotten the time to like sit down and fill them out. And
Okay.
I know some of the schools I'm looking at, like I have to write essays, which sometimes I
Yes.
struggle with. So maybe if that could be a resource that could help.
Definitely. So maybe some writing resources.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And can I ask if you've taken the SAT or the ACT exams quite yet?
I took the SAT and we're looking at the ACT, but that one costs a little bit more money for me than the SAT did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And if you don't mind me asking, are you on free or reduced lunch at all?
I'm on free and reduced.
Okay, you are on free. Okay, so because you've indicated that you are on free and reduced, that you will qualify for application waivers. So that'll be a really big financial burden that you won't need to worry about, because what entails with a lot of the application processes, there is usually a fee attached to that, and so we can definitely get that waived. Also with your SAT and ACT, you have indicated you've already taken the SAT, but if you felt like you would like to take that again, I know that there are fee waivers that we can have applied for you as well. So that's one less thing you would have to worry about. So that's great. And now, so you did mention writing, and like you said, with a lot of the applications there are questions and essays that you'll have to write up, and so that's wonderful that you're thinking ahead and voicing that you know that you would like some help in that department. So great. Okay, so what I have so far is applications, scholarships, and that you would like maybe some writing assistance,
Yes.
and maybe any financial assistance that we can find.
Yes.
So that sounds great. Okay, and have you spoken to your parents about school, maybe wanting to be within the state or out of state? Is that a conversation you've started with your parents?
They know I want to go to an HBCU. They've been telling me it's unrealistic, but I've been pushing it a lot. I think they would rather me stay in state.
Are they worried that it's out of state? Is that why they say unrealistic, that it's out of state?
Yeah.
And they don't want you to, it sounds like they don't really want you too far?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so, along with the college experience, there is living on campus or off campus. Is that something you're interested in?
Living on campus.
Living on
Probably good.
campus.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the reason I ask that is to make sure that you understand that if you were to live on campus, that does require you being somewhat far from your family. Is that something your family or you are prepared to do?
I'm very homebodied, so I may have a tough time dealing with it, but I mean, I always manage my way out of things. So maybe that's a good resource to look into.
Yeah, so again, the reason I bring it up is to make sure that that's something that you maybe might think about that conversation, starting that conversation with your family, the potential of you moving away.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not a part of the college process, but that's something that a lot of students don't realize is a conversation that's important to have. But it sounds like we have a clear plan, and I'm really excited to go along this journey with you, and I'm really happy that you've come and sought us out. And if you're available, I can walk you to our front desk and we can schedule our next meeting.
Yes, that sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you again. Okay, I'll see you out.
All right.